Hi everybody, my name is Angel and today I'm going to show to you about this incredible site called Sutori. Basically, the idea of Sutori is to develop a timeline. You can create these so-called stories, and the principle of creating these stories is to organize, can be information, can be activities, can be images, resources, and a sequence and a specific sequence. So it is very useful, a very friendly user, and one thing that is really nice about it is that even the free version, I mean the trial version, you can use all of the different features and characteristics during a month, right? You can even add your students, create your class, and invite your students to join your class with a specific code that you will provide to them. So basically, this tutorial, this kind of review, you want to see it like that, is I'm going to show to you some very basic ideas about how to develop and create your stories. And I'm going to show you a product that I did with my students. Probably you will find different tutorials in which you're going to get the basic info about how to register, uh, how to log in, how to get your code, how to invite your students. But in this tutorial specifically, I will try to move a little bit more and focus more and give you ideas, okay, about what sort of things you can do in the class with Sutori. So, for example, I have created over here a story called the Time Machine, but I'm going to explain to you how to use the basic stuff, right? Like the basic menu and buttons and things that you can do when you create your story. So if you want to create a story, a new story, you're going to click over here on this section that says create a story, and it's going to provide you different types of templates. They have pre-established templates for you depending on the objective of your lesson, depending on the objective of your story. And there is a library from which one you can choose which is more suitable for you. So as you can see, once you access to the library, you have different options. Okay, you have different templates for stories, like English and social studies. You have, of course, the blank option, but you have for a vocabulary activity, for a timeline, study guide and review, reading log, reading comprehension, learning diary, note taking, and different options over here. The same if you want to have a tutorial focus on activities and graphic organizers, of if you want to develop one, specifically for math and science. So my recommendation is don't be afraid. Okay, there are many things that you can use, and I'm pretty sure that you can use basically this resource with all the subjects, right? So we're going to start with this one, a blank one, just for you to get an idea of how to work with the different options over there of design. So once you click on the blank one, you're going to get something like this, right? Very simple, very basic, right? You have a background over here, which is blue right now, but you can change it. I mean, you can change the color if you want to, or you can replace it for an image, especially to give this theme sense, okay, depending on the topic that you are going to present to your students. And you have an option of inserting the title, write a short introduction to your story, or inserting a heading. So, as I told you, you can insert the title, a short introduction, the heading, and over here, right in the middle, you will see that over there appears this blue circle, okay, with a white cross on it. So basically, that is the timeline that I was telling you about, okay? in which you can insert different types of resources for your Sutori. So you click over there and you're going to have many options. Like, what would you like to insert? Would you like to insert a heading or a text or a link of another resource that you can find on the web? There are many things and all kind of resources that you can insert in this Sutori for your students. There are also quizzes like multiple choice, matching quizzes. You can insert images or videos. You can insert an audio file that you maybe have recorded or a file for your students to check it and download it. There you can include a section of did you know, and you can put over there important facts or the forum. Okay, you can develop forum with your students or insert bibliographies. Right, so I'm going to show to you more or less what is a Sutori once you have completed, and for that I'm going to go to my dashboard. So you go back over here and I created one. This is the one that I was showing to you, right? It's on title, but I'm going to show you one that I finished with my students. Remember, I was telling you about, well, I'm an English teacher, and for literature, we just read The Time Machine, H.G. Wells. So this is the Sutori that I created for The Time Machine. So as I tell you, you could, put different backgrounds over there. I inserted an image that I downloaded, and then I uploaded to the Sutori, okay? And then the title of the book, of course, inserted this quote of the writer. And then you can see in the middle the timeline. As I told you, the basic concept is there is a timeline in which you're going to insert different types of activities and with a specific sequence, right, for your students to check it. So I really like this site because you can create a resource that can be used for synchronic lessons, online lessons, or asynchronous, so students can work on their own, and actually promotes active learning, right? It really engages the students in order to have curiosity and to check what you have developed for them. So for example, in this case, I just looked some information of Herbert George Wells, right, the author of The Time Machine, and I get it from a website over there, and I include an image. And well, I was thinking about what can I do next. So I'm going to make a quiz. So a quiz based on this same information. So I decided that I was going to do a matching quiz, right? Having two columns, and they have to match these words and terms. And then for me, it's very important that they understand and know the historical context of the literature books that we bring to class. So I found this incredible site because, as you know, the Time Machine is developed during this era of the Industrial Revolution in England, right, during the Victorian era. So I found this and I inserted as a link, and it provides me a preview of an image and a small introduction to it. So if any student click over there on this site, on this link that I provide, is going to take him directly to the web page that I was looking on the web. So this is the site that I found, which contains very nice images and key elements, key ideas for them just to check a little bit about Queen Victoria, the political change. And one important thing when you develop this type of resources, try to get resources that are nice, that have good image resolutions, important information, they have reliable information, valid information, and they are not quite long, because especially with teenagers, they actually don't like to go through a lot of text, right? So I think this site was good and enough for them. So, and like that, I have other, embedded over here another site, and this is actually um, um, a place where they can find a lot of images, right? A lot of images about industrial revolution in England, high resolution stock photography, right? So the same, they can click over there and it will take them directly to the website. Um, what else did I include for this project of literature? Okay, I wanted to react in somehow to the content that I provided. So what I did is that I created a forum for that, those first two resources that they have to check. So I asked them to check the website, the introduction to the Victorian era, and check the photograph, the stock of photos over there about the Industrial Revolution in England, and to comment over here in this forum, like two important ideas. Okay, so with that, I expect them to react to the information that I'm giving to them, that I'm sharing with them. Okay, I also included this. There are a couple of movies over there based on this book. One is quite old and the other one is more recent. So I included both movie trailers. And for these movie trailers, I also created a forum so they can react to give me their comments, right? To compare and contrast both movie trailers, what they found different, what they found similar. And I know that they have read the book, so I was asking them which movie trailer they think is like the most appropriate and most close to the reality of the book. But besides that, you can also look for different images. Like, for example, you can find animated GIFs, okay? And you can insert it with the activity, the resource of did you know, and you add some important and nice information, nice facts, interesting facts about the book. Uh, you can also add, like in the case I did, uh, small videos, right? I found these small, interesting, really, really cool videos about the time machine, okay, by chapters, at least the first three, I think, three chapters. So I know that they already read the book, right? But maybe they haven't accessed this type of resources. So I really want them to do that, to enjoy going on this quest. Actually, this is kind of a web quest, right? So they have to check each one of the videos, and after checking a video, they have to answer this questions, this quiz. These questions and quiz are quite small, right? Remember, we are talking about also the concept of micro learning, right? The less is best, actually. We don't need to give a lot of information, a lot of questions, very difficult questions for our students. We want them to get engaged. We want them to check, to revise, to enjoy this type of resources. So they have their quizzes over there, and one of the quizzes is matching, and the rest of them is multiple choice. And then the incredible thing about Sutori is that you can add a different resources from different websites, right? So over here, for example, I included a Spotify playlist with the audiobook of the Time Machine. Like I told you before, I know they already read the book, right? They did their previous tasks about the book, but this is really, really fun for them to check the audiobook, to listen to the each one of the chapters, the pronunciation, intonation, and all of that. And then is compatible with different resources. Over here, I embedded the time machine important facts. I Quizlet, but you can add everything. I mean, you can add over here a Prezi, you can add a generally, I mean, everything that you can imagine about. Okay, the website is really compatible with a lot of things. So over here, once you have completed your story, your timeline of situations, events, and activities, you can share with them, right? One thing that you need to be really aware about is when you share with them this Sutori, there are some specific things that you need to take in account. For example, if you're going to share with them, you can invite them, okay, using their email accounts, or you can just share the resource with them. But once you share the resource with them, you need to check that it's public. That's the first thing that I recommend you check that it's public, and then go over here that those with access can view and comment. Because at the beginning I have difficulties because I only set this for can view, so my students weren't able to actually to comment on each one of the forums. So you need to check that they can view and comment, right? Or they can edit and comment, but in this case I wanted them to view and comment the resource, and then you can copy over there the link and you can share with them. Okay, what else can we say about Sutori? Actually, is like I told you, really friendly user. Once your students have completed the questions, once your students have completed the comments on each one of the forms of the forums, you are going to be able to check individually what they did, and you're going to get a record of that, and the web page is going to provide you all the necessary information. But one of the greatest things, besides everything that we have discussed, that I would like to let you today is the section of resources. I mean, once you go over there to the section of resources, you're going to find a lot of nice and really meaningful information for teachers, right? There are different ideas that you can get as a teacher in order to create your own story, to create your own, you know, your own story, right? So here are we, okay? And there are by units, by templates, by subjects, by ages, and you can check, right? We have guiding packs. And these guiding packs are like, for example, how to manage tutorial for elementary teachers, higher education, for social studies, and they provide you specific structures and great ideas for your classes. If it's about units, okay, we have this. If it's for digital citizenship and media literacy, we have even tutorials that can be used for, you know, addressing cyberbullying or challenging fake news and all of that. So besides everything that you can do, there's a lot of things that you can learn actually doing this tutorial. So I highly recommend you to visit this site, to check this site, and to give yourself a chance to learn new things that you can work with your students, and everybody can have a good time learning with this tutorial website. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. Bye bye.